Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Neo. In this set, I am working on myself again. I ended up doing a set that I absolutely loved. You can see me, I'm choosing. I couldn't decide what snakeskin print I wanted to use, so that's a hint of what we're doing today. And that is the acrylic of the day. We are going nude, we are going matte, and we're incorporating snakeskin. So the snakeskin that I got was from the Two Guys, but honestly, you can find it anywhere. I'm seeing that a lot of the items that I buy from these boutique shops are also available on like AliExpress. So like if you don't mind waiting like a gajillion months for the item, I would just say go there because it's a heck of a lot cheaper. But I purchased that snakeskin foil set from the Two Guys, and I am ripping up some gold foil, which I always say I hate doing, but I wanted to use actual foil because of the color and the texture that you get from foil. So because I'm working on myself, I've already gone in with the Two Guys one-step coffin tips. They are stiletto straight edge tips that don't have a curve. It's fantastic, and all you have to do is clip off the stiletto piece and you have a perfect coffin shape that doesn't round like a ballerina. It is a straight edge coffin. So I am going for a tapered square kind of, so I cut them a little low, and I'm priming my nails. So I've already dehydrated. I've added the Mia Secret primer, and I'm going in with this Young Nails protein bond. So I keep my protein bond in this little rubber, I guess it's a protector thing. It's for nail polish bottles, and I think it's just a stand so that you don't accidentally knock over your polish, which I do quite a bit with this tiny bottle of protein bond. I've knocked over like 3 of them, and one spilled out halfway. You know, this tiny bottle's like almost 20 bucks, so I just keep my protein bond in this rubber silicone thing all the time, so it's just handy. That's what that's about. So now that my hands are primed, my nails are primed, I'm going in with a clear bead of acrylic on each nail. I am using the Young Nails Speed Clear. I'm still working with Speed Clear right now. And yeah, I like the Speed Clear. I was wondering if it would make me, like work faster, but I don't feel like it's that fast setting to the point where I'm like, working a lot faster. I feel if anything, because it doesn't run as much as the Core Clear, encapsulating I have to do in smaller beads. I don't know. It's just different. I do prefer the Core Clear. Also, like I said in previous videos, I do think that the Speed Clear is not as clear in terms of clarity as the Core Clear. So I think once this container is finished, I'm just gonna go back to the Core Clear just because I might be biased. I really might be, but yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the Core Clear. So on all of my nails, and I'm only showing you my non-dominant hands. I'm only gonna show you my left hand, but I am working in this video on both hands, but I only show clips of the left hand being done because I'm right-handed. So the better set came out on the left side. Don't you hate that? But it's important to, practice with both hands because why not do your own nails if you can? So I'm applying the clear acrylic, and I'll meet you in a bit. And here's a good shot of the clear acrylic foundation laid on both hands. As you can see, it is very thin. I did not add a lot. I'm just covering the nail plate and a little bit of the tip. So if I do decide to change, then it won't be a big old process in breaking down the tip too much. Now I'm going in with one of my favorite colors. I forgot about this color, I'm not gonna lie. Before I decided on this set, I knew I wanted to do like a soft, nudie, just something real, not too in your face, but elegant nude nails. I wanted them to be matte, but I could not decide on a nude brown. I have like 800 nudes, and I saw this one and I was like, oh yeah, I love this acrylic. So I call this acrylic my oatmeal acrylic because it just reminds me of oatmeal. As you can see, like on the pinky, there's like little tiny flecks of like red, brownie somethings and white somethings. I don't know, but it really makes me think of oatmeal. This acrylic is called Tara Ui. It's by TheRedAcrylics. It's an amazing, amazing color, and it glows in the dark. It glows green, so that too is an incentive. So I'm just applying a very, very thin layer, but as you can see, I'm building up, not necessarily for shape, but for coverage, because it's slightly sheer, which I also loved about this set. So every single nail is getting covered with this acrylic. I love the flex in it. Doesn't it look like oatmeal? I think it does. I just think this acrylic is just going back in to make sure that I have enough coverage. It is a slightly sheer acrylic, so I didn't want to be able to, look at how beautiful. And as you can see, it is not thick. Those are both of my hands done. Look at the spots. They're just so cute. I love this color. So now I'm going in with a premature file. So this isn't my main filing. I just wanted to maintain the shape because I'm encapsulating some foils, and I didn't want to encapsulate on the nails before shaping because then it would make me have to shape more. Does that make sense? So I'm not shaping for real. I'm just cleaning my sidewalls as much as possible to make the foil application as nice and clean. If it was like lumpy and bumpy and then I apply the foil and then I go to file for my final file, then I would like file off the foil. Say that 5 times fast. File off the foil, right? You know what I mean? So I'm cleaning up the edges because I'm gonna apply a foil and encapsulate it. So I wanted the nails to be crisp so that when I do apply the foils, it has a nice smooth base to lay on. So because I wanted a smooth base, I'm going in with my sanding band. So this is the same sanding band that I use to prep my nail. It is a fine grit, regular sanding band or arbor band, wherever you get them, on a mandrel bit. And I am not really going in, I mean, I'm cleaning my cuticles a little bit. I'm just honestly, the whole point of this is just to smooth out the nail so that the foils have a very smooth surface to stick to. You don't want to, if your acrylic application is not like amazingly smooth, stick those foils on so that you can see the lumps and the bumps. So I'm not reshaping or debuilding the nail or like debulking. I am literally just smoothing the surface of the nail. So if I applied multiple beads, there might be like a ridge where one bead started and the other one finished, had dried already. I'm honestly just smoothing out the nail, and I'm going to do this on both hands. So once I am done filing with the sanding band, I'm going in with this iGel Beauty. I cleaned for dust and everything, okay? So I am going in with this iGel Beauty Foil Transfer Gel. So you can get this pretty much anywhere, but I have one from, well, I have a few, but this one is from iGel Beauty. It's really, really good. One trick that I have found to using foils is to add a good amount of it. Like, it doesn't need to be super heavy, but you don't want to apply a very dry amount. I find that the foil kind of needs enough to stick to. So on one finger, I added a good amount. It's a good, I would say, medium thickness on that ring finger, and on the middle finger, I'm doing a diagonal, kind of like if you were doing like a cut acrylic, and I added it to the tip as well. You see me adding another coat of it because I wanted there to be a good amount for the acrylic to, the foil to stick to. I'm going to cure for a full 60 seconds and then I'll be back to add the foil. So this is the foil that I chose. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I was like, I don't know. I'm really glad I chose this one because it really did match well with the acrylic color that I chose. I'm using a silicone brush or pusher, I don't know what you would call this, a silicone tool to kind of smooth the acrylic, I keep saying acrylic, the foil around the nail. So the foil is curving. I'm going in with the silicone tool to get it on and curve it around the nail. And then I'm gonna go in with a cuticle pusher, a square one that is kind of, I guess, flat and sharp, to squeeze out any ridges that might have formed in me curving the foil around the nail. So if you've done nail foils, sometimes you get like creases in the foil, and if that foil is not touching the nail, when you lift off the foil transfer paper, you'll have a gap in where that foil didn't touch the nail. So I'm going in with this scraper, and it might seem excessive, but I am literally scraping out any and every single one of the creases that I see because I want this to be a flawless nail transfer. And I know some people can do it with like their fingers or just with the silicone. This is what works for me to guarantee that I get a flawless transfer, and you're gonna see in a few that I did really well. So I'm just gonna apply it on both fingers, getting it on the tip of the nail as well, squeezing with my hand. Right, I lifted a little bit. If you see something, you know, not all the way transferred, just go back in with a cuticle pusher and scrape it up, and you'll have a gorgeous transfer after. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. Look, oh, look at that. Not one piece missing. So what I'm doing now is adding a base coat. And as you can see, I'm not even adding it over the entire nail. I'm just adding a base gel coat to the foil. I'm doing this because if you've ever worked with foils and encapsulating them, when monomer touches these foils, they basically disintegrate and melt away. And because I knew I wanted to encapsulate the whole nail, it might be tricky because I usually work with runnier beads when I'm encapsulating. I didn't want any chance of this perfect foil going away. So I added a coat of base coat. Any base coat will work, just to make sure that the foil was safe underneath the gel. And then because it has an inhibition layer, I'm just using that to apply the foil. So the same cuticle pusher, I'm just using the pointy end to kind of pick up the foil and add it across that cut area of where I added the foil on the diagonal. So because the gel is sticky, the foils are just kind of getting stuck to the gel. So yeah, I'm just using the cuticle pusher to add the gold foils randomly, just spreading them around however I want. I think this was really pretty. I think the gold foil came out nice, and I love the texture of the foil rather than using the flakes that I often use. The flakes are like really perfectly cut smooth pieces, but the foil, as you crinkle the foil around, it kind of crinkles on you. Some of them lay a little flat, so it just gives a little bit more dimension. So on the diagonal nails, I am adding the gold foil across the diagonal, and then I felt like I wanted more of the foil. So on the full foil nail, foil, I'm saying that word a lot. On the nail with the full snakeskin print, I'm gonna actually add gold foil around the pattern that's already there from the foil. So you'll see me just kind of adding those foils in however I can, and yeah, I'm just making it work. And I think the foils just kind of made the, you know, the snakeskin print look a little bit more special. So just adding them, not too many, just kind of along the black lines in the pattern, brought it together. So I'm encapsulating, but I'm not using my Young Nails Pore Clear or Speed Clear. I'm actually using another clear acrylic by the same company, the TheRedAcrylics. So this acrylic I had seen all over Instagram. She was posting about it, and apparently it's one of the clearest acrylics that you can find out there. It has a very, very interesting texture. It's not very finely milled. If anything, it's kind of like sugar, like the texture of sugar. When I first got it, it's not my first time working with it, but when I first got it, I was very intrigued. I was like, oh, this is different. I have to say, it's one of the clearest acrylics that I've ever used in my life. I encapsulated a client's nails once, and I did one hand with this acrylic and one hand with a different clear acrylic. And I asked her to ask a lot of people, and everybody said that this side was clearer. So I said, you know, if I'm gonna encapsulate these snakeskin prints, I don't want to use something that's a little cloudy. I want to use something that I know is going to be absolutely clear. So I'm just going in with this acrylic. It's called Crystal Clear by TheRedAcrylics, and I am encapsulating all 10 of my fingers. And as you can see on the other fingers, I am not building up the apex of the nails to be too big. These nails are not uber thick. That's what they look like on both hands. Nice and clean. I'm going in now for my final filing, right? I said file and foil so many times in this video. I should do a counter. I'll think about it. So I'm just going in with my 80 grit hand file, and I am maintaining that shape. So I didn't want a really, really tight coffin. I wanted slightly more of a tapered square. Another reason why I wanted to encapsulate the foils was because of the shape. I didn't want to have to add loads of top coat and then mess up my shaping, but I made sure to encapsulate it so that I could incorporate it into the design and then be able to redo my shape. So I'm just going in with this 80 grit, and I am refining that shape, making sure it is crisp, crisp, crisp. Just getting the tip of this nail here, cleaning it up, making sure everything is nice and tight, and then a nice dusty shot of the nails. So now I'm going in with my 5-in-1 carbide bit. This is a fine bit, and I got it from Amazon, a company called Pana, and I'm just using this to smooth out the nail and actually clean up my cuticle area. This is a safety bit, so it would be very difficult to cut someone with this bit, and I'm using it at about 15,000 RPM. That's usually the speed that I use, around 12 to 15, maybe 16, depending on what I'm doing, how thick the nail is, and you know how nervous the client might be about the e-file. But I'm just using that to smooth the surface of the nail if there's any lumps or bumps, and then to clean up the cuticle area. I don't know what I was doing here, but you know, that's what's happening on all 10 fingers. And I'm working both hands at the same time, so be proud, y'all. Looking good, looking good. I'm going in with my medium grit buffer block, cleaning up the shape, smoothing out the nails, getting the crease into those cuticle areas. Underneath the nail, if there's any acrylic that might have gotten under there, flaking it off, just smoothing out the nail. And then I'm going to graduate down to a finer, I think it's a fine buffing block afterwards. I do like to graduate my buffing just so that the nail is extremely smooth. So that's what I'm doing to all 10 fingers. And then I am filing again, but this time I'm using a 100-180 grit file. I really wanted to, because the design is so simple, focus on a very clean and sharp shape. So I was really excited about these nails after, because all this filing definitely worked out in my favor. These nails look so beautiful. I will say though that if you are going to encapsulate foils, don't get like file crazy like I did, because I kind of filed off some of the snakeskin on one of the fingertips. But this is basically the shot of the nails. They came out so beautifully and nice. Look at the shape, not edited. They look great. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed these nails. I love them, and they glow in the dark. It's like just the color is doing it for me. It's a color for me, yeah. So subscribe if you want to see more from me. Like this video if you can, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.